Ladies and gentlemen of the media, or rather gentlemen of the media, welcome to today's post-match press conference for Orlando Pirates versus Polokwane City. We are joined by the away team head coach, Coach Phuti. Welcome, sir. Coach, if you may just please give us a brief summary of the match from your perspective.
Evening, gentlemen. If there is a lady here, evening also. Evening to both genders. I think we started the game not so well. Hence we conceded in the first 5 minutes. But through the progression of the game, that is when we started to also develop into better playing performance. But in the first half, I think we lost a lot of possession through our passing errors. We were struggling also with Maswanganya and Nemtajela in terms of them dropping to collect. But we also dropped Mapangule to just neutralize the spaces. That is when they started to go wide, and that is where we wanted them to go. So I think first half we didn't do that much better, but compared to the second half, that is when we rose up and we showed better performance. I don't know, maybe it's the respect that we showed them in the first half. So I think we had a very, very, very good second half performance.
Thank you, Coach. Now open for questions from the floor. As per norm, by show of hands, please identify yourself as well as the media company you represent prior to asking your question. Do you have any questions for the coach?
Joseph from Sports Coach. Had luck on the result, but you only got to the game, like rightfully saying, in the second half. But I saw a little bit of desperation from your players. At some point, they were bypassing the midfield, playing long balls, and you were actually, at some point screaming, telling them to play it on the floor, something like that, looking at how you were against challenge. At what point then do you make your players understand that they should keep on playing the way that they play and not be desperate? Because today I saw them, even when they had possession, they were a bit desperate to go forward quickly.
Thanks for the question, Temba. I think it wasn't more of desperation, but it was more of realizing the spaces that we were looking for. And if you can check, most of the long balls, they came from the center backs. And that is when we have realized that there was a space that was left by the left fullback and by the right fullback. So those were the spaces that we were looking for. And in diversifying the game, we wanted to play also from the back with the combinations, not bypassing the midfield. So I think that is the answer to what you were asking for.
Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, Coach. I'd love on the results. Coach, Orlando Pirates could have scored more goals today, but your goalkeeper was very outstanding. How important is he for the season?
He did what he has to do. That is his responsibility, to block the balls to cross the line. And it was so unfortunate that on the first goal, he was also involved. If you check that ball, it was spilled from him. But where it started where we didn't press well, where Maswanganya left our defensive six. He went to collect the ball deeper. Now he was facing us, and with the cross, with the space that we created on the left, with that cross and the hard and low, it was very difficult for him. But overall, he did exceptionally well, and he shows that he's an international goalkeeper who's the #1 for Kenya. So he kept us on the game. And for the season, he's the most important player we have going through the whole season. Not saying that we don't have other goalkeepers and equally competent ones. We have equally competent keepers, but today he rose above his shoulders.
We'll take the final two questions.
Good evening, Coach. Nick Gleeson for Backpage Media. You guys have obviously just come from a relatively long international break. You've got another 10 days until you play your next fixture. Do these long gaps in your schedule lead to a kind of breakdown of your momentum?
I can say it is both ways. Sometimes when you are in a winning streak, that is where it temper with your the momentum. But when you are in a losing streak, that is where you know where to rectify, where to correct, and you come back a better team. So with us, these breaks, I just hope that we don't have these long breaks, because I think it tempers with our momentum.
Another question?
Coach, I've literally observed the attitude of Thabang Mathuludi. He's been to the Bafana squad, he's been in camp with the Bafana squad. How much of an influence does he have in the squad, and how have you managed to keep him grounded, looking at where he's been and the achievement with the squad, despite him not having any game time?
He's a humble boy, very, very much humble, and in talking sense into his mind, just to remind him that he's still a Polokwane City player, he's still contracted to us, and he has to first give the performances that made him to be selected from the national team by playing or giving the better performances in our team. So I think he's very honest, he's very humble, and with the performances that he's giving, he should continue to be there.
Final.
Good evening, Coach, and like on the result, Carol Pasha Freelance. Coach, just on your response, when you say that you have to remind him that he's a Polokwane City, where is his headspace? Why are you telling them he's still a Polokwane City player? Can you just maybe just clarify that, or in regards to what you said?
Okay, playing for the national team, doesn't it mean that his bread is buttered in the national team? You need to know where you come from, and that is where his bread is buttered, is Polokwane City. For him to be in the national team is Polokwane City. For him to continue to be in the national team, he must give us the good performances at Polokwane City. So that is why I'm saying he has to play for Polokwane City before he can think about any other thing else. National team, second. Polokwane City, first.
Coach, it's been a pleasure breaking bread with you. We'll take a short break and be back with another part of the coach. Thank you.
No.